in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to go right and we're going to talk to the king. So the king talking to the king serves two purposes. First off, we can't leave this room until we talk to the king, so it's actually 100% important that we talk to him. The other reason is at the end of this cutscene, he actually gives us 100 coins. We're gonna need those 100 coins. Fortunately, those are the only 100 coins that we need for the whole run, so we get everything that we need for the whole game immediately, which is really nice not having to farm. We're gonna take a little bit of a raft ride. So if you've played any of the other Adventure Island games, this one's quite a bit different. This one is a lot more like a Zelda 2 Metroidvania style type game, where you go around to different levels. You can collect different weapons and armor. Learn an up stab and a down stab, two of the options. So very, very Zelda 2-esque. We'll get through this first screen. This is actually a fairly tricky first screen to get through damageless. A couple of tight platforming jumps there. So we have to turn on the lightning switch. A lot of gates and keys for various obstacles. So we have to turn on the lightning switch in order to get over to the silver sword here, which is our first major weapon upgrade. It deals twice as much damage as our fist and is required to break this rock to lower the water. We're going to take a little bit of a detour and see if we can't get a trick here. Alright. Everyone hope for fish jump. Let's go fish! Come on, fish. So the fish can jump once every 5-ish seconds. I missed it. And then you have to do a frame perfect damage boost off of the fish to skip the this lower basement section. So it's a really tight trick. Involves quite a bit of RNG. Just kind of sitting around waiting for the fish. I didn't want to go for it for too long just because you can literally sit there forever. But it was always worth a try. Alright, so there is a cavern up there. We're going to come up there later. There's some revisits in this game to get to certain items to progress. We'll see if I remember how to do this screen. Not entirely, but that's fine. We're still fine. This is enough health. As long as we don't take too much more damage. So I stopped there before the Tails fox enemy, in order to set up the tree cycle a little better. This is the first boss, kind of a Wispy Woods-esque boss. There's a lot of things that you could say are semi-borrowed from other games in this. But get through that. Goes through phases, and we have our first dream sequence. So the story of this game, we're Master Higgins. We were on a raft trip with our lovely wife Tina, who is the damsel there in our dream sequence. Both Higgins and Tina were involved in a hurricane accident, where they both washed up on different parts of islands, and both of them have amnesia. The king found Tina and is trying to, she's now his queen to be. So when we arrive on the island, she's actually just been stolen by some terrible giant beast. And the king enlists our help in going to save her, while we go try to find. Let's have a little bit of a mini boss fight here. So throughout the game, you kind of go into these dream sequences with Tina. Man. First random encounter. So there are random encounters on the overworld, which They're around 6 or 7 seconds each for it. We're gonna hope for not too many, but it's okay if we do, because it's all right. Nice. I appreciate the panic basket with the capital P. Yeah, we're literally on a quest to recover our lost memories and save the girl of our dreams. Like, our literal dreams. So you may be asking, why aren't we just going straight to the next island? Or why did we skip by the second island there, the one with the volcano? Well, we don't have the key to enter that island yet. And we're going around here so that we can get the correct key to go into the next island. The next island is actually Haya Haya, this ice island right below us. But first, we're gonna use those 100 coins that we got from the king to get this old man to teach us how to push blocks. Very important, because didn't know how to push blocks before, and now we can. I think this is 5 for the random encounter, or is this 4? I forget. I lost track. So we're gonna use that handy dandy push skill that we just learned. It's 8. In order to get to this ice bell. And the ice bell is the key to open up Haya Haya. Encounter music is really dramatic for something that you just hold left to exit. Alright, so if we were playing on English, which we're not because Japanese saves a million years, we would get the best cutscene in the game here. On the English version, this cutscene says, "The ice giant cometh, and breaketh, openeth the dooreth." It really is too bad that the other English cutscenes aren't all stylized like this one is. Everything else is just kind of matter of fact. Alright. So now we're gonna wait for this right bunny to jump. Come on, bunny. There we go. Get a bunny boost to get the fire sword. So again, fire sword doubles our damage. It also lets us break this wall, so we can't progress in the stage without the fire sword. Did the wrong jump. That's okay. Couple things to note about the movement. You don't want to climb vines or blue Twizzlers, as is the case in this stage. I don't think I pressed that button, but okay. As much as possible, you want to jump up them. You can get pretty fast movement up the vines if you don't re-grab too early. And then you want to jump to avoid slopes, because they do slow down your movement slightly. Alright, we're going to try to get a corner jump here. We'll just go around. It's fine. Accidentally broke the ice block I wanted to use the corner jump on. Save a little bit of time pushing that block over. Alright, 2 hits. Alright, so we got the fire armor, so we take less damage from everything, everywhere in the game now. Up to, like, a cap for certain enemies. It's gonna be pretty useful to get the fire armor for a trick coming up in Boa Boa, the next island. I know Lehulk doesn't get it. It's technically optional, but it sets up the movement a little better to have the armor. Alright, we're gonna come around here. We're gonna get another magic bottle. And there's actually an invisible floor there. If I would have not jumped at the right time and either bonked my head or just jumped late, I would have fallen down and had to go around a couple of rooms again. Alright, so we had to push the star stone to undo those star blocks, or the star switch, excuse me, to undo those star blocks. So we could push this down to open up the full basement of the stage. We're gonna turn the star stones back on, though. They're gonna them being on gives us platforms later on in a couple other stages. It'll be very useful for that. A lot of usage of the push ability. Glad that we paid those 100 coins for it. Taking the D-boost here is slightly faster than killing all 3 of those penguins, and now we're going to stab a mammoth in the eyes. First we're gonna unfreeze him, and then we're gonna stab him in the eyes. So you want to kind of, you want to keep slashing even if you can't hit him in the eyes. Because every time you hit his trunk, it actually pushes it back. So if you don't hit his trunk at all, then he, like, the trunk gets super long and it gets really hard to deal damage to him. Alright, so second dream sequence. This is where Higgins and Tina both tell each other, hey, I have amnesia. Oh, you have amnesia too? That's interesting. I wonder what we were like in the past before we have amnesia. I wonder what it could possibly have been. Alright, so we get the star block, or the star stone, for from the mammoth, which lets us lower this gate. We still don't have the key to get into Boa Boa, the lava island, yet. But we will have that right about now. A little bit of a preview of the tile set for one of the later stages. They just remember that they don't have memories. There is a casino in this game. We will not be visiting the casino. Casino's a bad idea. Bad time. Alright. So we also got the Magic Wand. Magic Wand is going to be used fairly heavily in the late game. Nice. No encounters from Wand to Boa Boa. Alright. So we use the fire ring. Ring of Fire. It causes the volcano to erupt, which opens up the way into the level. I don't know why we decided to make a volcano erupt in order to get in, but that's just how it works. Alright, we're gonna go for a trick here. Hopefully this dragon's on the right cycle. Should be okay. Yeah, cool. Alright, so that skips quite a bit of like circling around the underside of the stage. We are pretty low on health though, so this is like the whole reason we get the fire armor, is to make sure that we actually have some health. But that's okay. We'll just do it again. Not a big deal.
Would you mind if I read off a donation real quick?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Awesome. So we've got $75 from Dark Terex. He says, "Curse morning work. I can't believe I'm going to miss this hot X7 run coming up due to needing to sleep. This is for Papa to run new game. You punk."
You punk? Yo, thanks. Wait. Okay. Alright. So we didn't run into the hot potatoes this time. turn on the star switch. We are going to take this for safety right now, just because we already died once. Don't want to do it again. Normally I would get that on the way back, but it's fine. Alright, so this is the first secret tunnel between stages. We're actually going to go back to the first island, Poka Poka, in order to get the Ice Sword, the weakness of the next boss. Fun fact, you really want to get this Ice Sword. Like really, really badly. So with the Ice Sword, it's 3 cycles to kill the turtle. Without it, it's like 7. And each cycle is like over a minute. It's a ridiculously long time. Is basically what it comes down to. I forget the exact time frame because I haven't run the numbers in a while, but it's a really long time. We stopped in that cave. We do have to stop in each of those health caves for speed. We're setting them as warp points for later on in the game. Swap to the Ice Sword. Alright, we jumped over the whirlpool. It's actually a fairly tight jump. But yeah, this minute detour for the Ice Sword is way faster. Like, it saves several minutes over just going through the rest of Boa Boa naturally. Nice hot track here. Pun intended. Alright, climb back up the elevators. So there are 5 switches that lead to the Boa Boa boss, or the basement. There's a lot of basements where the bosses are residing. Just hanging out. So we have to undo, or we have to push these 5 switches over to unlock the 5 gates. See if we can't get a pretty good climb here. We're really high up on the screen. A little bit too high up on the screen. That would have been a good climb, but I was a little bit too high up on the screen. Had too good of jumps. Alright, and here's our 5th switch. Alright, and the basement. We just have to kind of go around the corner. So if you go to the left there, you can actually see the boss gate. But you have to go around. There's no way of getting to the boss gate from the starting point that we know of yet. Alright, time for Fast at CC's favorite boss, the 3-cycle turtle. Alright. We cast Magic, you're invulnerable. So, just use that to make sure that we definitely have enough health. Doesn't waste any time to use the magic here in the boss fight. If you had anything that you wanted to plug, it's a pretty good time to do so.
Yeah, sounds good. So again, New Game is now winning over New Game Plus for Mega Man X7. That is within $5, so well within your ability to snipe that one. Aside from that, we have Spyro Year of the Dragon picking the color. Purple is in the lead at $100, whereas green is in second place at $69. Many other colors there to choose from as well, so go ahead, get your donations in, and yeah, get right back to you, Pot.
Yeah. Alright, so for like the last phase of the fight, I just like to honk as much as possible. If you try to use a spell that you're not allowed to use, or if you're out of magic, and you try to use a spell, then you just honk continuously. Alright. It's about enough honking. Honk for RNG manip. Alright, you ready? Ready? Here comes the 3 cycle. And there it is, 3 cycles. Yeah, so if you have more cycles, it's like it's a huge time loss. The madman. Alright. Next dream sequence. We're gonna go to the next island is a beach island. We have a I think this is the Moonstone? The Aqua Stone, excuse me. Aqua Stone lowers the Aqua Gate. Before we can go to the next island, though, we do have to get the Power Fan in order to cause a hurricane. We just caused natural disasters all over the place in this run. It's like, first off, it was an ice giant, which I guess isn't necessarily a natural disaster, but then we cause a volcano to erupt, and then we cause a hurricane. I feel like we're the bad guys here. Alright. So that's the encounter you have to slow down a little for, or you run into the pokey enemy. Alright. So unlike the first mini-boss, this one actually doesn't have like a spot where he's resistant to you. I need to not run into him. Okay. So we get the Power Fan, and we're going to take a slight detour to get arguably the best weapon in the game, the shovel. Shovel takes off your armor automatically, and you can't run, but you do get to shovel things. Where's my encounter? Where's my encounter? So we die on purpose here. Can you shovel knights? Maybe. If any enemies in this game are knights, then yes, we can shovel them. So we take a death warp there, A, to refill our health, and B, it prevents us from getting any more encounters all the way to the island here. That's not the Power Fan. That's a honk. Alright. The weaponness of this weapon. It does do damage. It does as much damage as your fists do. And you can't mash it like the fist, but that doesn't mean anything. It's still a good weapon. Alright. So this is the beach island. Nice fish jump. If you jump off of water, you have like a 2-frame window, approximately, to do a jump off of water to retain your running speed, which saves a bit of time. Finally got the fish to jump. Too bad it was the wrong one. So we got a couple of them there. And so this is the Death Mountain-esque maze-like stage with some nice comfy tracks. Nice sunny beach disposition. Alright, oh, I jumped way too far. Where's my brain? Jump here. Alright, so we run off of this one, and that's one spot that the Starstone is useful, where we get to run off onto that spot without taking damage from the spikes, or having to wait on the little conveyor platform. See if we clip on. We did. Cool. And we didn't clip onto that one, though. Ah! Let me on! I pushed left early. There we go. Alright, we're gonna refill here. So the hot springs refill your health. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but I think we saw that at one point. Gonna get this chest to get the Thunder Sword. Not a required weapon, but again, doubles your damage, so it's pretty useful to have. Also equip the Aqua Armor, which makes you take way less damage from most enemies in the game. Plus, you retain full walk speed in water as opposed to slower than walk speed if you miss a fast water jump. Jump over the Fiddler Crab. Alright. And now the best trick in the game, Jump Shovel. Where you get to shovel in midair by just jumping shortly after you shovel. Alright, so we push this switch, which lowers the water level in the rest of the stage. Go ahead and run into that shrimp, I guess. Should still have enough health. Taking damage from either the bombs or the... why did I jump? Okay, we're fine. Or the seagulls is a lot less damage than taking them from the spikes. Spikes in the stage do a lot of damage. I am gonna take that for safety. Alright, try to maintain our momentum by slashing in the air. Get our third magic bottle. We're going to collect one more in the next stage, and then that'll be it for magic. Each magic bottle that you obtain, up to, I believe it's 8, gives you a new spell. So the second spell is Recover. First spell that you get is Feather, which is a warp to the start of stages, and then the fourth spell that you get is Warp, which takes you to any of the the warp points on the map or the starts of stages. Alright. This is the squid. Try not to get poked at the start, and then try to one-cycle him. This should... this is gonna be close. Slash the tentacle! Alright. Barely, but we got it. So you have to slash the tentacle on the left in order to raise his head, which makes him vulnerable, and then he... he does have, invisible iframes, so you have to kind of wait between slashes. You can't just slash quickly to get a bunch of hits in. So you want to get 2 hits in per shell raise. Alright, so we get the Moonstone from here. Let's lower the Moon Gate. And then we're going to go to Salasala, the desert island. Interestingly enough, this stage does not require any particular key. This little spot here that you see to the right that actually gives you the upstab if you have enough money, but we don't want or need the upstab because we're fine. We have almost everything we need at this point. Let's see if we can't get the faster cycle here in room 2. Nope, because I jumped early. So we'll just wait out this. That's fine. Cool, we got health. Come up here, push down the moon switch, turn on the moon blocks. We have to have the moon blocks on to progress. We get our 4th magic bottle there. So now we can warp. We aren't going to yet. We have to beat this stage first. Put on our handy dandy shovel. It's nice that swapping to shovel and swapping back automatically puts on whatever armor that you had equipped before, so you don't have to re-equip it every time. Please grab the chain. Thank you. Alright. We weren't full anyway, so we would have to stop in the hot spring regardless. But it's fine. Short visit here. Alright, so now we're in the 2nd pyramid, which is the trickier of the 2 pyramids, I would say. There's that guy. Jump there to kind of dunk our way into the 2nd pyramid's underground. Alright, we're gonna go for a trick here. Yes, okay. Cool. Alright, so we're gonna have this Skullbat from the climb up the stage come down and damage boost us up to the switch. One of the newest things in speedrunning of this game. Thank you to G-Unit for a couple of the cool damage boost strats, including this one and the one in Boa Boa. Come up and collect the axe. We aren't going to switch to it right away. We're going to use our sword for a little bit longer, but we are going to swap to it just before the boss. Hey, cool, we got a health drop. Clip onto this platform and then get ready. We missed. It's fine. Just do it again. We missed again. It's fine. We'll do it again. So we use the hit from the sword to cause the enemy to go into like invulnerability, which prevents him from having a hurt box. And then during that time frame, we quickly cast our magic, recover magic, in order to prevent ourselves from taking damage. And then we swap to the axe. It's much easier to do that trick with the sword over the axe. Alright. Alright, mummy. No, mummy. So this is very bad. Fortunately, we have a decent amount of health, but firing snowflakes is not what we want to see from the mummy. We handled it okay, though. Didn't take damage, and we still killed him relatively quickly. Alright, so this is the final dream sequence where both you and Tina realize that who you were before. You both no longer have amnesia. You realize that you are husband and wife. So now Higgins is on a quest to fully save Tina from the Terrible Beastie at the end of the last island. In order to get to the last island, though, we do have to collect the 5 spells, 1 from each island, which is different from our magic spells. They're collectible, like, items. They're just called the spells. So we get the Elven Flute. Don't confuse it with an ocarina. Definitely not an ocarina. It's an Elven Flute. This is definitely not a Zelda game. In order to unlock areas in each of the 5 islands that we've been to previously. Unlock the pathways to the 5 spells. Alright, so there's the moon spell. Take a deboost off of the Skullbat. You can take a deboost there. I'm not going to right now. I'm gonna take it a little bit safer just in case I mess up the strat getting back. Okay, cool. Health drop. I might just take this deboost then, this way. Yeah, that'll put me at good health. So we take another island-to-island shortcut. This one back to Haya Haya, the ice island. Which takes us pretty much right next to the gate. So use the Elven Flute in. Deboost off the penguin. Make sure that we grab the blue Twizzlers. Hardest vines to grab in the game, blue Twizzlers. Alright, set up our health perfectly. Didn't get the bunny early kill, but that's fine. So we take a intentional death warp here to regain our health and magic. Blue raspberry sour twists. I'm gonna use quite a few death warps to get to the various checkpoints of each of the stages that we went to before. Kind of give ourselves an advantage over having to like raft to each island and have the random encounters along the way. This is my favorite of the gates, because when you use the Elven Flute at the Aqua Gate here, instead of it unlocking a door, it turns on bubbles. So then you get to ride in some bubbles. Riding in bubbles. Accidentally pushed left a couple times. Made it so I couldn't get by that enemy. Go a little bit higher here. And pop. You can pop the bubbles anytime you want by pressing A. Oh, I could have taken one more hit. It's fine. Yeah, this is the spiritual sequel to Zelda 2. Because that game was popular, right? 2, 4, 5. Alright, go to Haya Haya. Zelda 2 too. Did I say Haya Haya? This is Boba. There's potential if we get a full magic drop. to get a 5th magic from the second part of the stage that we unlock with the Elven Flute. And then we can feather out of the stage and then warp to the next island, so we wouldn't have to death abuse. It would save a marginal amount of time, but we didn't get it, so. Let me down. More hits. Let me down. Get the sun spell. Yeah, you can get the magic bottle. It prevents the need for some farming, a little bit of farming for a magic in the next stage, because we want to feather out of the first island here, Poka Poka. It's not a magic drop. Let me up. First equip, that's the shield. Equip that, and then we use the Elven Flute. Just wanted to set everything up in the same menu, and I forgot where magic was in the menu. Press the switch. There's a magic. My movement's a little off, but that's okay. Immediately feather out. And now you always want to end on Poka Poka as the last island, because the final island of the game is right next to it. Fua Fua. So the very start, some fast water jumps if we can get them, and then some clouds. I kind of wanted that health, but that's okay. Forgot to delay a little bit on that cloud. We'll kill this guy, see what he gives. Coin. Don't need money. Coin. All these coins. Small health drop. This is technically enough. If I wanted to be crazy, which I do. I missed it. Okay, it's fine. That's fine. Normally I wouldn't take this, but because we're so low on health, I am gonna fill up to 1.5 hearts. I don't want to die to the squeeze. I missed the early bubble cycle. It's fine. Alright, everybody squeeze! Squeeze! We got it. We made it through. Thanks everybody for squeezing. Yeah, nice health drop. Should have picked up that full health, it's fine. So, even though these enemies, these Tails enemies, were in the first stage of the game, these ones do considerably more damage. Like almost a full heart's worth of damage. So it's pretty important that we don't run into them. Get our last weapon, the Power Sword. Power Sword is required. required to break this block. And we are going to re-equip Heart, just in case. Final warp point. And then we fight the hardest boss in the game from an execution standpoint, the Eagle. Alright, we got 8 hits. Ideally, we would want to 2-cycle the Eagle. The best we can do now is 3. This is one of the hardest bosses to get, ideally, in speedrunning. At least that I've come across. Alright, another 8. So if we get a 9-cycle in the next one, then we 3-cycle him, I should say. You can cast magic at full health. One hit away. So we got 3 cycles of 8. He has 25 hits with the power sword to finish him off. If any one of those cycles would have been a 9, we would have 3-cycled him. 3-cycle is generally what I aim for, just because 2-cycle is really difficult. Oh, hey, look, it's Tina. We did it. We rescued her. Nice job, everyone. So we're gonna go and check up on her. What's happening? Are you really okay? English translation there. Got to make sure that she's actually really okay. Yeah, she's still got brown hair. Brown hair for the whole game so far. So there's this terrible phantom guy who shows up and is like, heh, this was all my doing the whole time. Oh, by the way, I've kidnapped the king as well. So now both the king and the queen and her beauty shall be mine forever and ever. Ha 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 ha. So he floats away with Tina. And Higgins, instead of immediately going to chase after her, decides, I'm going to go back to the castle and make sure that the king was okay. And the innkeeper here tells us, yeah, the king's been kidnapped. There's supposedly a legend of the Sky Bell, but who believes in legends anymore? Take it from me. I read it in the Inquirer. We didn't get either of the honks, it's fine. So we know that he reads his tabloids. He does say, take it from me, I read it in the Inquirer. That's like, that's an exact wording of what he says in the English version. Alright, so we climb up just beyond where the eagle was to use the Sky Bell, which leads us into the heavens. So we can fight the last boss of the game. Alright, so this is Phantom Phase 1. So we got this fireball attack. You can't hit him. If your sword hits the fireballs, it doesn't deal damage to him, so you kind of have to wait for the fireballs to get out of the way. So we deal 20 damage here to him, or to hit him 20 times, and he splits into 2. Upper Phantom, Lower Phantom. Lower Phantom always appears right now. I missed a slash. That's not good. And then Swooping Phantom. Alright, that's fine. I was worried for nothing. Alright, so we beat Phantom, and he's gonna go into the sky. What's happening? Dramatic music. Everyone get prepared for a jump scare. It's a giant eyeball in the sky! Alright, now we're on the moon. The moon space station, or palace, fighting the scorpion. Did he jump to hit him? It's fine. 1, 2, 3. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I count jumps just to make sure that I get out of the way in time for his attack. Alright, there's both of his arms gone. We just have to wait for what would normally be a 3 cycle. Alright, and get ready on time. Time. Wasn't a terrible run overall. The death and then the bad fish was really the bad luck, or the bad part of the run. Everything else was fine. A couple of weird things happened, but overall was fine. Alright, so Tina's hair, still brown. Take note, still brown hair. They embrace brown hair. All of a sudden, she's blonde. Why is her hair blonde here? It used to be brown before. Yeah, no idea why her hair is blonde. Magically changes from brown to blonde. Unless it was shaded the entire game. Although, why would it be shaded while she was falling down from the moon? Unless it was shaded by the moon. That's the only explanation, was that it was shaded by the moon. Shoutouts to Brett Suzo.